Are we ready for another seashell demo? This one is different. This one is very different. But next week, we're even going to have a different one under the seashell demo. So last week, this week different, next week even more different. So you're going to want to come back next week as well, but wait till you see what we have going on this week. You asked, we listened. Are you ready? Let's get going. Well, to start out with, I'm going to tell you I'm actually using a porcelain. I am using Dave's porcelain. It's a cone 10. I have this all left over from that workshop that I held a few years ago. And so I'm going to tell you, because you all asked last time, I have this 23 wide by 20 tall. That's probably way overkill. I could probably cut a bunch of that off. However, bigger is better. So I have my slab. I have actually compressed both sides of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scooch things over just a bit so I can get my banding wheel in here just a bit. And I want to show you. I'm going to put my pin in the hole. My pin in the hole. And then I'm going to use a template this week. This is my template. Oh gosh, that looks familiar, doesn't it? This template across is about 14 and a half by 11 and a quarter, half-ish. But this is going to be for the, oh, Mr. Wilson didn't cut that hole big enough for me. Let me see if my other pen will work. There we go. Sometimes he doesn't. He did this one on the other machine. Okay, that's not going to work. Let me go get him to make it bigger. Okay, that takes care of that. Went and drilled my hole just a slight bigger. Put this on here, just like this. Just like that. And now, wait for it. Wait for it. Let me do this. You asked, we listened. Look at that bad boy. We're going to make this today. So last week it was an innie. This week it's an outie. Next week it's going to be totally different. So don't forget next week. Let me switch back. And I'm going to put this on here. Let me hit the hole. There we go. So it looks like that. I do not have to put a template on here, but I chose to this time because I want a wider lip. So, we're going to do it this time with a template. Now, I have this off to the side. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to take my big old slab of clay, drape it over, and pull it over where you can see it. So we'll be right back for that. Here we go. Big old slab across this puppy. So I'm going to lift this up, hang it very, very carefully to scooch this over. I wouldn't have to do that if I wasn't just trying to show this. And I'm going to drop this across here. Now, big old slab, so I barely have any wrinkling going on at all. First thing I want to do is I want to take and cut the excess that I now no longer need to avoid the wrinkles. Because now I don't want it to pull on this and cause it to pull on the top. Come off, Sharon. There. And I'm going to pull this off. Okay, that's a little more manageable. Put this right here. Let me back this off just a little bit so you can see it better. My lighting isn't great today. Hold on. Move, Sassy. Okay. For some reason, my lighting isn't great, but it's the best I can do right now. Okay, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take my little sponge and I'm going to go down because I want that down in there. Just like that. And I'm just kind of lifting these edges. Lifting and pressing. Like this. And pressing this down across the template just so I can get a feel for it. Because I want to cut this template out fairly quickly and then we'll probably trim it up yet again. So I'm going to come across here and see where my template is. Our 1/4 inch really helps you find it and helps you from slipping off of it. And then of course you can use it. I'm going to cut this off. And then it's also good for you to use to hold your piece on. Now I'm going to come off the edge of this here in a second because it's bigger than my banding wheel, but that's okay. It'll still right around the template so I can see where it's at, even though it's bigger. Now I'm going to come this way and come across my template. Can you see me over here? And come this way. Just like that. And come around just like that. All right. Now, I'm just going to take my little red rib, dip it in a little bit of water, and here we go. I'm going to bring it in. Like I said, we'll probably recut around the template because I'm going to stretch it doing this. Can you see what I'm doing here? These are not slap it on and go forms. These are going to take you some finessing, but oh so worth it. So I'm just coming down the little indentations. I don't worry about these crumbs on the top. We'll get them in a bit. And I'm pushing in at the bottom. And inside, I'm going to take my little end to get inside there real well. If you don't like looking at the crumbs, just come across and get them off. I'm going to rinse in water. Oh, I can't wait to see this finished. And I'm doing this several times because I don't want to ask the clay too much to begin with, but I want a lot out of it in the end. You see this showing up? Again, taking my little end to come inside there and then come around up and over. I can see those, I can see where those are. So I'm coming around. And look at, I want to get that off of there. And now I want to come across the top, because I want that to go in and show in the bottom. And again, getting lots of little slippy stuff off of there because I had my rib wet. And I'm going to get my sponge, wring it out really good, and come across here. And now I'm going to sponge this. I want to make sure I've got it nice and smooth, but deep into the crevices. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Just like this. Now I see some little like boogery things right there. So I'm going to go back to my rib. Again, you've got to be patient with these to get the beauty you're going to get. Just coming down. Okay, now I have pulled this bigger than my template. I can leave it as is and clean up those edges after I can pull this off, or I can trim it if I want to now. That's going to be a personal choice. I'm going to show you that if I trim it, I would simply hold this and come in and find my template again and take off this excess. from stretching it out. And again, I have to come around this outside edge where I'm going to come off the banding wheel because it's bigger. And so you're going to have to really be careful with that. Take your time. Notice how I put my thumb in front and hold down that clay so that I have control of it. And again, this is because I cut it and then sponged it and made it a little bigger. Again, you could have left it. I didn't want to. So I'm just taking my time, coming and cutting that. And I felt like I slipped a petal over here, but I did not. And I can see around these edges that it's all good. All right. Now, you could put a foot right here on this, or I am going to take, I don't want to do that, it's got a hole in it. So does this one. I'm going to take and flatten this just so that I know it's flat on the bottom. And then I'm going to kind of wipe where that hole is. Now, I'm going to go around these outside edges. The good thing about our banding wheel system, as you hand builders know, it is a dream because your piece won't slide off when you're doing this. It won't go anywhere and wreck your project. So if you haven't gotten one already, don't walk, run to Sharon Hoppy Designs and grab yours. All right. That's it. We're going to leave it like that till it's time to flip it. We'll see you on the flip side. We're ready for that moment of truth. So I'm going to pop this off, lift this up, take my little pin out. And then I'm just going to get a small template and put on here and flip this. Realistically, I should have left it on longer, but that's okay. I may have to stick it back in there. Okay, I want to make sure this is going to sit evenly. And this is just going to lift right smack out. No problem. Look at that. Now, my clay tends to do that little cracky thing. That's my clay. That's not the form. So I'm going to just take care of this lightly. See, it's even moldy. Now, I also, this really shouldn't have come out yet, so I'm going to prop it so it'll stay sitting like that, because I shouldn't have taken it out yet, but I did just to show you. But look at that. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to take this. This, again, is just the little cracky stuff that my old clay is doing. This has nothing to do with the form. And again, old clay. This stuff is several years old. So that takes care of that. And then I'm going to take my sponge and just go around this outer edge. And remember, I put a template on this to give it some edge, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Hush, cricket bird. Cricket bird. I'm just wiping off some of the cracks of my old clay. You wouldn't have to do that. Let me lift this. Can you see that? Oh my gosh. So there, and again, this black stuff, ignore the black stuff. That's mold. It'll burn right out. Okay, again, I'm going to lift this so that it will sit. You could even lift this rim up if you wanted. Whoops, I caused a crack. Oh no. So, I'm going to get this well compressed. And well compressed in here. I'm actually taking a little bit off out of here because my old clay was terrible. So I'm going to take that out so that I don't crack. I'm going to wet my fingers and really compress this just to avoid any cracking, and lift this. And there you have an inside seashell. Oh my golly. What do you think of that? Inside seashell. Ignore the mold. It'll burn out. I love it. I love it. I love it. There you have it. All right, here it is. Here's the back. Got my little initials on there. And here is the front. There is your dish. This will be called the Seashell Outie. We will see you next time.